Yo, what's up guys? New video on Necros Abyss Heart. And I've been using this bat team before. It didn't really work because it was just not strong enough. But with the nerf right now, this does actually quite work. I just did a run of 10, let's run it on the background for a second. But as we can see over here, I got a rank 9 with this team in Europe, which is pretty insane. This is next to the people doing teams with Lucians and that kind of stuff. I think this is pretty much the max that you can get on the old team that I probably would recommend people to run because, of course, the team that I'm running is not easy to run as always. However, it is mainly based on like how strong is your star, and I think that's more doable for a lot of people if you happen to have some very good vampire runes. So yeah, this is the team. Let's see how it runs and what has been changed. And I did a few small changes to it. And how are you gonna get that sub 40-second run? Well, the sub 40-second run does need good RNG. That's something I can definitely tell you already because without it, it's not going to work. I made a few changes to the team for just runes. I added in Vio Revenge on both the Cannon Girl and the Rogue. The Ikaru is double shield plus a fight set right now. We have the Bat on a fight set plus Fatal. That's the same as before. And then we have Vampire Blade on the Astar, Vampire Broken on the Astar, which is better than the Vampire Blade that I have. But the big thing, what changes about this team is that the Rogue is violent. That does help out quite a lot to make all of these runs pretty much faster. They don't need crazy good fire runes. I would recommend, if you want to build this team, aim for the following thresholds. 2 fights or 2 shield sets, minimum. If you add more shield sets, you can lower the HP requirement. But I went for an effective HP of 95k. You could go for 100k maybe to keep it a little bit safe. And that's mainly for the Abigail and for the Rogue. Ikaru will be there because it's high defense base and a star doesn't care shit about it, how much it is, because it's just a star. Also, a thing that I did different in this team right now is that I threw accuracy slot 2 artifacts on both the Abigail and the Rogue. Oh, by the way, keep in mind, I did that 95k of efficient HP before artifacts, and then both of them have one artifact that isn't either an HP or defense type, just because their base stats are that terribly low, and getting those base stats in from an artifact is a lot easier. So 95k plus an artifact that's either defense or HP. But as you guys can see, you're doing a lot of damage on this right now, and also Wild Shot still does do a lot of damage. But now to look at how do we get towards 39 seconds? How does that work in this run? Well, you would have to start with a Wild Shot, land as many on the boss as possible, also completely ignoring the bat. But you kind of have to clear the boss already on the turn of Rogue. If Rogue clears the boss, which you do need a procer for, and you do need the wild shots to do quite some damage on that already to make it happen. But Rogue, because he kills in his turn, will take another turn. Then we need a very strong team up from the Ikaru, and the Ikaru also breaking the shield on that team up, and then also landing an armor break, and then with that armor break, I'll start killing it. So this is possible. It's not easy. You need definitely some good RNG on it, but I let it run for like 20 runs of or no, not 20 runs, 20 runs in total, 2 runs of 10. Can I say that this is like super 100% efficient, effective? Is it never going to fail? I think it might have chance to fail. I would probably say it's like 98, 99 from what I've seen so far. But definitely, once again, not easy to rune. But how often are you going to get sub 40-second runs? Probably 1 in 20, 1 in 30, maybe even less. Because you do need some crazy good RNG for that to happen. But the thing is, what we also have added right now, we have Revenge on both the Abigail and the Rogue. So they have chances that on a Revenge that they will pretty much nearly destroy the shield. And the reason that I added in Revenge runes is because Revenge runes do not lower the animation time at all, because you already have one unit that's always revenging. Because the Ikaru always already revenged, he's never not going to revenge just because of the build and the counter that he gets from his passive. You might as well just add in the other 2 units on revenge runes as well, and that's definitely a way that I would say makes this work pretty well. But as you guys can see, in the other time on the team, when I was running this previous prior to the nerf, it was struggling sometimes. It was not going that well. It was just yeah, going a little bit back and forth for how much damage do you need. In this case, this what I'm doing right now is enough damage. I will showcase the runes in a second as well. But let's see if we can get somewhat of a more cleaner boss stage on that. And from there, let's just see like how things goes. Also, the miscellaneous bat right now is in speed tune to move because you can actually push back. You might think like, oh, if it gets stolen, is that pushback not annoying? No, actually the funny part is about the pushback. Pushbacks or push-ups don't work at the boss stage. So the miscellaneous bat is actually a very interesting unit in this whole thing because the armor break is 1 turn and will always be shaken off because I take a turn before the boss takes a turn. If he goes for an S2, it doesn't do anything. Ooh, that was very close to going for a 1-turn killer. So that's definitely what you want. You want to get as many 1-turn killers as possible. And from that, we would have had like a way faster run. That's why you get into like the 43, 45-second runs. And if you clear it before any animation of the boss, well, before just after the first one, then you're gonna look at something around like sub 40 seconds. But that one is insanely hard. But even getting the one towards like 45 to 50 seconds is pretty hard to do on the RNG as well because you need everything to kind of land. But I would say that this is definitely faster than the Shaman. However, the Shaman team is a lot safer and like 100 times easier to rune. So probably I do recommend people to rune up that Shaman team, but we're just trying to use fun teams, right? And also, once again, if you have an Astar that's stronger than mine, because my vampire runes aren't the greatest, you can definitely get away with quite some more stuff going around here for your team. Also, in this case, because of that little pushback, we have my units being cutting in. So the miscellaneous bat actually does work pretty interesting here. Let's see, can we go for skill 2? I think everyone does have the skills up right now. With the skill 2, it's also somewhat depending, like how many do you hit into the right target. This skill 2, sliver of health once again. So yeah, definitely if I had an Astar that's slightly a bit better, I did find a slightly better artifact. But I could have been killing it in this turn already if I actually had that slightly bit extra damage. So this is all about like the longer you farm this, the better runes you will also get for this because you need those vampire runes that you also obtain here. So I would say that that is pretty much something. And if I want to farm Necro, I would be 100% farming Necro this way. Because for me, it's 100%. It's most likely the fastest team out there. I'm not entirely sure how fast that Shaman team is. But I'm very sure that this would be faster than the Shaman team. Because the Shaman team, you first have to kill the Shaman. And that just takes a while. In this case, I'm just completely ignoring the bat. Plus, I have more fight runes in. Well, one set more of fight. I'm not entirely sure if I could make the bat, that would be the best. If you can make the bat triple fight and still be stolen. Because in the end, the bat is on a fatal set. It doesn't need a fatal set. But you need some crazy fight sets to actually do it. Because the more fight sets you add, the more attack a star is going to have. And the boss is stealing the unit with the highest attack. So in this case, you can see as well, if I had like the 2 extra fight sets, I should check how much... if I could make that work with 2 extra fight sets. However, I cannot make the bet on the right speed tuning if I do it with the right fight sets. Also, thing to keep in mind, you cannot go for perfect speed tuning, because if you go for a perfect speed tuning, Astar is gonna get extra speed the moment that she's lower HP. So the other 2 or the other 3 units have to outspeed Astar by a decent margin to actually get like a proper run in that way. And that is a waste. Too bad. But this was a bit of a faster run, still a bit on the slower side though. But yeah, that's definitely, I would say, the fastest run possible. We're looking at 1 minute runs. We didn't get any crazy fast run. Gonna let it run for a little bit afterwards, just recording it and then seeing that we can record like one really crazy run. So now looking at a run, this run is 43 seconds, so it's not my fastest time. There is definitely still room for improvement in there, but pretty fast clear on that. We didn't go for an armor break here right away. Did get it in the second turn. It could have killed faster on this for like 1.5 to 2 seconds. S2 on that one is very good. Also, what you can see here, if my Astar did more damage, it would have actually cleared the whole wave straight away. But you would need some better Astar runes for that, which I don't have in Vampire for sure. But let's see what we have over here. We do get a proc of Raoak and then a great team up into pretty much a killer there. That part is pretty important to have. So if that happens... And then the next thing also goes pretty smoothly, where we have a wild shot, a procer, removing of the shield, and a team up there, and that's a kill. So this is pretty much, this is a 43-second run, and I could still see a bunch of things making this a lot faster. You just need great RNG to get those in, but This team has a lot of potential. You kind of need the RNG moments though. But first, let's look at the runes. So the runes are going to be this Bio with Revenge. This is the HP that I'm aiming for. Accuracy is too low, you need the 35, but that's fixed by a 22 over here. Same for this one, we have accuracy on the 15, but that is fixed by 21 over here. And then these are the HP stats that you need that I would recommend to go for. We have the Ikaru on the double shield sets, and then just 35 accuracy. You could lower the accuracy as well and then fix the accuracy in here, but doesn't really matter all too much. Also for artifacts, we have damage on dark, damage on co-op. And this one is probably also damage dark, damage co-op. Yeah, this one isn't that great. This one's actually very bad. Don't have good damage on dark artifacts for fire. So that's also why this one is a high co-op damage rather than damage on dark. It would be stronger to have a high damage on dark for this, to be honest. And then this one is just a co-op damage as well. And then with this one, we just have a lot of attack. And then we have a fatals, or we have a fight set in there. I am not too sure now. It would be pretty hard to get this amount of attack on a triple fight set. I think it would be near impossible. So guys, hope you enjoyed. That's it for the video. I'll see you as always in the next one. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't.